Hello and welcome back. We are looking at part 4 of Prison Architect's Beginner's Guide. And as you can see, I took a little bit of time between the videos to set up my next block of cells. And in this particular situation, you can see the general route that I'm going to be going with. So the cells are going to be going over here, and then I'm going to wrap them up around, and they'll all be interconnected at some point. The cells are going to be going all the way up here to the shower, and there's going to be a doorway going into that so that everybody has free flow just straight to and from there. Now the next part is also going to be this little section here. I'm actually going to turn this into an infirmary. That way the prisoners who get injured or decide that they're going to be awesome and take on all 6 of my guards at the same time can go in there and get healed. Same with any staff workers who happen to get injured during fighting times. So in the meantime, we're gonna let everything go here, and you'll notice I spent a little bit of extra money. That's because I'm now researching the clone, health, and patrols. Patrols are very good for your guards, so that if you've got something that's if you've got a section or a different area that's having problems, you can set somebody in there at all times. We can go more into depth into that. It is a little bit tricky, and it gets kind of convoluted if you have to figure it out for yourself. The doctors in health are actually crucial to your entire prison, because if they're going to be rioting a lot, then you're going to have a lot of injuries, and more importantly, you're going to have a lot of deaths. That's something that you just don't want to happen. And the clone section is actually very, 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 very handy, because you can actually use it to take a cell block and just put it right there, and you just keep on putting all the cell blocks over there, and you don't even have to worry anymore about taking all the time to create those additional cells. You just put it in there, and then the workers come in and do their thing, and before you know it, it's completely set up. So let's come back up here and we'll set a foundation. We're gonna use concrete. We'll just wait this out. Once we get our cloning section done, then we're gonna be able to start building this up pretty fast. Looks like that's finished, so we'll put a door right here as the janitor's going on his merry way cleaning up the entire prison. Alright, now important thing to note is that the infirmary is not yet available, and that's because obviously the health is not done researching just yet. But once it is, we will be good to go. Clone and patrols are just about finished. And there we go. So just to show you how this is going to work out, you do actually have to set the foundation first. Now we're 8,900 in the hole. Now, if you're not going to use the option for infinite money, then obviously you're going to have to wait all of this out. You'd have to wait probably a day or two to be able to get enough money. Maybe not 2 days, but it would be noticeable. Once Homeboy decides to get that finished up, we'll just come in here, demolish this wall, Watch him take a dookie. Don't push too hard, man. Oh, he's waiting for solitary. So, once that's finished up... Oh, we gave him brick walls. Okay, that section's gonna be fancy. Now, we can see clone. Now, important thing to note, if you just right-click, you've only got the one cell block, the one block activated. So if you right-click, you can do that. And you've just got to put it right on top of that, and it automatically puts everything there. Now it will actually take the type of wall that's over there, and it'll replace everything that is currently there. So you'll see this brick wall start to turn into concrete. And apparently this guy cannot go around that empty section, so we'll let her mount. And then we're good to go. We just keep on working like that. And then to deselect, right click anywhere, and then come and do the same exact thing here. Now you've got to make sure that you're overlapping it, otherwise it will not work out how you want it to. Now, just to get all of this finished, we'll shift click on the workers and away we go. Just mystically takes a jail door out of nowhere. And we're going to speed them up here just so we're not sitting here looking at the same thing for 20 minutes. Open the door and let them in. Alright, so we've got that all underway, and now our health is finished with the research, so we're going to put a doctor right there, label this as the infirmary. Now all that it needs to finish is a medical bed. This should do us just fine for now. We'll put 2 in there just to be safe for the most part. And I can't explain my hatred for lights. They just keep blinking and blinking and blinking, and then you get over there and it turns out that you really don't even need light in that spot to begin with. Moreover, if you get into a huge, absolutely huge prison, if you just do what I did in one of my prisons and just make a cell block that size and then a cell block that size, there's so many lights. There's just so many lights. I can't handle it. So, if I don't need them, I dismantle them. I completely get rid of them. Now, this is all finished, so let's do our thing with the pipes yet again. And that's probably the most time-consuming part for your workers, is setting up all of the utilities. I have no idea what this guy is waiting for. Is he just resting or what? Alright, so we're good to go now. We're gonna open it up and gonna get 12 prisoners. And one thing that's pretty fun to do, we'll just set up this little section and I will show you what this is going to turn into. This is actually something that can be very fun, especially if you have a big prison with 500 or 1,000 prisoners. Oops, I didn't want to cancel that bit. I use that to keep my brain in check so I know where I'm going. So, going back to what we were saying earlier with the water, we're gonna need more and more large pipes as we keep going here. So I think that should work to get it to go all the way down there. And we probably could just put it all the way down, but realistically, if you're gonna be spending money in a game that does not have infinite money, then you're going to want to make sure that it's you're going to want to make sure that you're spending the least amount of money to do the most that you possibly can. I don't know what all the workers are doing, why they're just freezing. Alright, now, one really cool thing to keep in mind, and this is something that I really want to show. Notice that these guys don't have anywhere to go because there's no exit. You come into deployment and notice that it says no access. So if there's a section where you notice that prisoners are having a lot of contraband thrown in, then you're going to want to set it to somewhere that absolutely nobody can get to. There's no access, so there's no way that they can get that contraband. In this particular case, of course, we want to keep this, so we're going to demolish that wall. I don't think this is gonna work out how I wanted it to. Now, if you've been playing the game for longer than just a few hours, if you're not an absolute beginner, as this video is intended to educate those people, you probably know what I'm going to be doing with this section here. Now, this is something that's going to save you a lot of room and a lot of time, and you can even giggle at your prisoners. Now, what exactly am I doing right here? Well, we are going to create solitary confinement. This is something that I kind of giggled with joy when I saw. Solitary confinement has no room requirements. And if you think about it, if you've done something, if you attacked a guard, if you attacked a freaking unarmed doctor, somebody who was designed to help you, you need to be punished. And if that happens a lot, if you happen to have a lot of riots, then you're going to want to get that fixed as fast and as efficiently as possible. You're going to have 50 prisoners sent to solitary all at the same time. So, make rooms like this. Now I've got 3 solitary rooms. Apparently I'm dropping frames here, sorry. But we're going to now see this guy going to solitary. And essentially this is basically what you're going to be doing as time goes by. You're going to be keeping your prison growing and growing and growing as time goes by. You want to keep as many prisoners coming in as you possibly can, and you want to make sure that you've got enough room to be able to house them. I've got 12 prisoners incoming, and I've got 15 currently. Well, 12 plus 15 is 27. That means I need 3 cells. So I'm going to be creating this entire next block right here. I'll have that finished before the next video. And in the meantime, let's finish this off by looking at the deployment. Just to go back to what we were talking about briefly earlier, is that you can actually assign this. If you choose MinSec, that's minimum sec, minimum security, otherwise the low risk over here, that means that only those prisoners are allowed into that section. MedSec, MaxSec, protected, Supermax, same thing with all of that. And with the staff only, if I were to put the shower as staff only, well, that means that only the staff can go in there. And you right click and it'll set it back to shared so that absolutely everybody can go in there. Unlocked. Now this one is kind of key, because if we were to set the canteen as unlocked, then you're gonna notice that the door is now always open. That's something you want to bear in mind, because if you've got a section that you need to momentarily mark as unlocked, don't forget to undo that. Otherwise, you're going to have some problems. Now we've got our 2 guys in solitary, but now the guard patrols, you can actually just set them like this. So if I were to click onto these, then I'm going to be putting all the guards into that entire area. Don't want that to happen just yet, because I don't have that many guards, of course. So that's essentially what we're looking at, and you can actually come into logistics and choose your prison labor. You can see that you've got 1 job, but I don't have any qualified prisoners. Next video is going to be looking at a lot of different things. Again, the programs are pretty keen. You've got the kitchen safety and hygiene, and then the workshop safety induction. This only the kitchen safety only needs the cook, and the workshop safety is actually what you need the foreman for. Those can actually make you a lot of money. I'm going to go ahead and set up pharmacological drug treatment. You'll notice it says no regime time slot. What that means is that it needs work. Love you, man. So we've got the work slot set, and can't find it. We're going to reschedule, and now you can see that it's actually set it in there. In order to be able to change that to something more specific, we have to get micromanagement. Micromanagement will let you actually change everything within the program schedules. And once we manage to have that, I'll go over that, and you'll see how things will start to work. So I think we've covered most of everything that I wanted to in this section. You can see solitary, the guys are now out of there. Everybody's eating. We've got our infirmary. And we just need to set up a few more cells for the next group that's incoming. And I think we'll be good to go. So, as always, if you have questions, let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, enjoy your prison. Goodbye.